Hi everyone, I'm Stuti Pathak and I'm back with another installment of Leading Women series in which we cover the inspiring stories of women who have achieved great professional success overcoming several challenges. The story that we talk about today is of the awesome Nagashree SR. Nagashree has over 14 years of experience and has worked with some great companies like AstraZeneca, Abbott, Alcon, and Essilor. She's currently the finance director at Cargill India. So, without wasting much time, let's get started. Nagashree, thank you so much for joining us today. I know things have been difficult and you must have a very busy schedule. And I really want to thank you on behalf of all of us for taking out time for us.
Hey, thank you, Stuti. Thank you for the opportunity. And I hope you and your family are doing well too. And I'm excited. Let's go with the conversation.
Great. So let's get started. So, Nagashree, my first question for you is who was the first woman you looked up to and why did you want to be like her?
Actually, many, okay. And still, there are many women who keep inspiring me. To begin with, my mom, she had a great role in our family. She was a key influencer of our family. She ran the finances of the family, and she literally ran the household, I would say. And there's a lot to learn from her when I was young, be it her tenacity, her empowerment, prioritization, agility, a lot to learn. She didn't even quit her job to raise both of us, me and my brother. So I learned a lot from her. I'm still learning from her. At work, I had the opportunity to work with many great women leaders. And there's this fantastic lady by name Anita. She's been a great inspiration to me. Fortunately, I met her very early in my career, and she's one who had a strong influence on my leadership style as well. She had great courage and backbone to call spade as a spade. So I'm still impressed with her style, and yeah. So these are two examples I would like to share.
Great, good to know that. My next question is have you become more risk averse or risk seeking as you have progressed in your career?
Okay, so let me share my secret recipe for building a strong career, as I still am seeking to build one, a stronger one. See, I think we have to be self aware, very open, and adventurous, is what I feel. And when I say self aware, we need to understand what we really love to do, what really makes us happy, what are our areas in which we are really strong at, and what are the areas to work on. These things really help us make choices in our career. And in my mind, I see a very closed and not so risk averse or not so, risk taking ability would constrict someone's growth. So I would strongly let people be very open and be also adventurous at times to seek great heights in their career.
Great, I think makes sense. And especially what you said that we are always in the process of understanding what we want and what we don't want. Coming to the next question, what are some moments of self doubt you have had in the journey you had, and how did you manage those self doubts?
I think it's but natural for all of us, right? That we would have passed some moments of self doubt. Can I do this? Will I be successful? What do people think about it? So we all have gone through these kind of tiny moments. And I think the best ways for oneself is to work towards the causes of self doubt. And that's the only way which can help dispel it. I think it's also very important to build a self confidence and measured level of optimism and deal life with humility also at the same time.
Great. I think that that's a lot of learning for a lot of us. Nagashree, what is the one lesson or story you can share from your experiences that is unique to being a woman?
Uh, I guess all men and women have very strong experiences, and that's what we are all, right? I mean, that shapes our what we are. More specifically for women, if I have to say, is I think a woman goes through several stages or phases of life, and some of the phases of life do change her physically and emotionally, right? And that's something which enables her to further her ability to deal with things multidimensionally. She brings a lot of empathy, and she can raise the bar on softer aspect of communication. I think it's there inherent in all women, but I'm saying some of the stages of life further enable or enrich that life experience.
I think I love this question that I'm going to ask you, Nagashree. What will be the biggest challenge for the generation of women behind you?
All the generations I've heard or I'm seeing, we all have different sets of challenges for sure. And specifically for the coming generation, on one side, there's consistent increased competition, pressure to keep excelling at whatever we've been doing. With machine learning, artificial intelligence replacing humans, there's a constant need to reinvent and identify value adding interventions. We have to keep working towards making ourselves relevant all the time.
Mhm.
It's a constant pressure on all of us. We have to live as balanced individuals, right? With enhanced social skills and adapt and learn, especially in a world that is hurtling towards digitalization, machine learning, and also remote working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's always a challenge, and we have to learn to deal with it.
Nagashree, this next question has a lot of relevance to the times that we are currently going through, specifically with the pandemic affecting most of us, if not all of us, in some way or the other personally. Why do you think empathy is such a key part of leadership right now, specifically, and why has it just emerged as a discussion?
To me, honestly, empathy to me is always an untold leadership tenet, right? It was always there. I wouldn't call a person as a great leader if he lacked empathy. But the times like this, what we are dealing, these are unprecedented, extremely challenging, and everyone needs to step up their game and have to be more, balanced, more matured, and show that leadership. That's the reason I think we are speaking about empathy more vocally these
Mhm.
days. Otherwise, I see this as the most important tenet for any leader.
Nagashree, coming to my next question to you is what are some of the strategies that can help women achieve a more prominent role in often male dominated industries or organizations? And I'm sure there are some such instances you would have faced in your life at some point.
Sure. So one is the trick is being self-aware, understand one's strengths and areas to work on, and what kind of support systems we really have, to enable us to pursue whatever we have been doing or whatever we aspire to do. That's very very important. Second is I think we should articulate and set right expectations, with our stakeholders, be it personal or professional. It's very important to set those expectations on what can they really expect from us. That's a must actually. I mean, when I become a new mom, I can tell you by my example. I had set my expectation that there's certain periods of time I can't take calls. I mean, I have to focus on my baby and so on. So there have been instances where we have to set those expectations, and we always live with this bias. Maybe they may not understand this, but and many a times it's just in our minds, and people are quite understanding because they also would have gone through or seen someone go through in their circles, right? So it's important to set those expectations. And third is try to take the best of what we get from the system and ignore what really doesn't shape our thinking or values. It's
Mhm.
very, very important. What do I say? Trick I have used always. For instance, there are many leaders, peers who offer constructive criticism, which helps us shape ourselves as better individuals. And but there are also people who don't always try and get the best out of us.
Mhm.
Our ability to identify that is most important. right? We need to be very agile, amenable to feedback and change ourselves. But it's also important that we need to know who is helping to get the best out of us.
As I'm lucky enough to have a great manager, my manager always says this to me, that reach out, ask. If you don't ask, I won't know what's going on with you. So I think that's
Yeah.
one of the things most of us as women come across. The next question, Nagashree, is what are some assumptions or biases you have noticed as a female leader around you?
Many women can't do challenging jobs. They can't be hardworking. They can't do stretch assignments. If you hire young women in reproductive age, they will go for maternity leave. And these days, the funniest thing which I've been hearing a lot is there many of us, many of people, many who look at us as privileged and preferred, as every company is trying to increase their diversity score, which at times kept, it gets very annoying, because I think women always existed as part of this whole system. It's just that we've been driving something now because just to increase the score. But I think there's nothing which, what do I say? We don't get any exemptions just because we are women.
Absolutely.
We have to do whatever it takes to do in our jobs. So I don't know why people think like that. Some of them, I think we need to change some of these thinking around us.
Yeah, definitely. That's something I think as women we face right from school. I think when you score well, you're told that you're a girl and that's why you're scoring well. Great. That brings us to the end of the interview, Nagashree. Thank you so much again for taking out time for us. Please stay safe. Take care. I hope everyone around you stays safe, and anyone who's facing these difficult times recovers quickly.
Thanks a ton, Stuti, for the opportunity. It's been great, interaction with you, and I wish you and your family also, speedy recovery and also stay safe.